What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, NFL, National Football League, superstar, future Hall of Famer, Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson, he talked about and weighed in on what it was like to be in camp with undefeated two-division world champion, WBC reigning middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jermall Lions Only Charlo, and to be in camp with two-time junior middleweight world champion, who's the unified junior middleweight world champion, and going into an undisputed showdown July 17th, that being Jermell Lions Only Charlo, superstar boxer. Jermell Charlo will be facing Brian Castano July 17th. Jermall Charlo, he'll be facing Monteo. That's going to take place in Houston June 19th, next Saturday. Okay, well, this Saturday coming up. And Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, he stated that when he reached out to enter training camp with them for his exhibition showdown with Brian Maxwell, who is a bare knuckle UFC boxer, wrestler. He's a jack of all trades, to so to speak. In a 4-round boxing match, he entered real training camp with Jermell and Jermall Charlo. He said that he would train with Jermell Charlo in the morning and Jermall Charlo in the afternoon. He was doing 2-a-days. He says, but when they invited him, when they were open to allowing him to come to the training camp for them, because they are in serious training camp. This is a huge fight for Jermell Charlo against Brian Castano, because it's for undisputed. This is a fight for Jermall Charlo. Is this is a sleeper fight, right? This is one of those fights where you could allow yourself, this is a trap fight, you know what I mean, where it's a fight in between. It's not the biggest fight, but Monteo has power, so it's a fight where he definitely has to be on his P's and Q's. He's going to be a heavy favorite, but he has to be on his P's and Q's. So they are in serious training camp, and Jermall Charlo's fight is coming up this Saturday. So as he stated, when he entered camp with them, he was there for 3 weeks. And it was serious camp, that they had stipulations that they let him know that he had to follow. So there were stipulations that he had to follow. He had to eat like them, he stated. He said that he had to wake up and run when they woke up and run at 5 a.m. He says that, they were already somewhat, obviously, Jermall Charlo is in shape and on weight. So he says that they normally weigh around 180 pounds, okay? He said they both weigh normally walking around weigh 180 pounds. He says that obviously Jermall's going down to 160, Jermell goes to 54. But, what was highlighted here is that he says that they played no games. He says that it wasn't a celebrity situation where they looked at him going into exhibition. He said that you saw the clips that they were putting up and it was laughs and giggles. He said that he thought that they were good friends. He says, but once they got in sparring, he said the first round was a feeling out process. He says, but in the second round, he says, in all seriousness, they forgot who he was. He says that they flipped the switch. He said this is one thing he don't like about having friends that are combat athletes, because there's a switch that's flipped and they completely forget, and they completely dismiss who you are. He said that he started to question himself when he was in the ring with Jermall Charlo and in sparring. He says that in the first round it was a feeling out process, so to speak. He said, but in the second round he didn't remember that it was Ocho Cinco. He said he was asking himself subconsciously, what are you doing? I thought we was just getting some work. He said, no. He said he hit me. He stopped me to the body with a body shot and he dropped me. And he said he didn't verbally speak out loud, but he said he was asking himself, what's going on here? He completely forgot that we was friends, that we was cool, and that this is not my respective discipline. This is not my profession. He says, but that switch is flipped. And another thing is, you have to take into account when you're dealing with athletes at this level, Jermall and Jermell Charlo, is that you have to take into account that they are in a sport where it's them or the other guy. There's no next Sunday, there's no next Saturday, no next Monday, no next Thursday like it is in the NFL. This could very well be this is a life or death situation. They put their life on the line every time they step through those ropes. Now, more times than none, you don't get that outcome, but one time is too many, so they have to mentally flip a switch. They can't be in there, playing around. They can't have lapses. You see, as he stated, he entered their real training camp. So he said that he had to eat how they was eating, or the deal was off. He had to get up and train and run when they was training, or the deal was off. He had to participate just like they were in training camp, because essentially they don't want any distractions. Okay, they don't want a situation where he's moving around and doing things not on their accord. So it becomes a distraction. They have to stay focused. So he says it's like a well-oiled machine, and that's interesting, right? Because the life of a boxer is very lonely. We always hear that being a boxer is a very lonely sport. Because once you get in that ring and the bell goes ding, your physical well-being is on the line. Everybody else, they're helping you prepare, and they're helping you get in shape and things of that nature. Like he said, the chefs, the dietitians, the masseuses, the trainers, he says that that's a serious thing. And he says that it was completely different. He said that being in the ring with Jermall Charlo, he says Jermall Charlo doesn't take any breaks. His rest period is 30 seconds. He says Jermell Charlo, no matter what you do, no matter what he does, it's a minute rest in between everything he does. He says that with Jermall Charlo, there's 30-second rest in between everything he does, and he don't take a break after, he don't take a 30-second break until he accumulates 3 rounds. So essentially what he's saying is the first 3 rounds, he don't take a 30-second break until those 3 rounds are over. Then he takes a 30-second break. Then I guess he gets to round 6. Then he takes another 30-second break. Then he gets to round 9. Then he takes another 30-second break. Then he gets to round 12. And obviously, regardless, I don't know if he's going, some guys spar 15 rounds, train 20 rounds, so on and such, exceed the limit of the 12 rounds that is expected of you. So he says that some guys, he says that Jermell Charlo has a 1 minute break in between, he has a minute break in between everything he does. He says Jermall has a 30-second break after every 3 rounds. So that speaks volumes. Okay, that's an insight that's interesting, and it's very intriguing, because he got insight, to what actually takes place, the method behind getting in shape, the method behind them staying focused. Like he said, it's a well-oiled machine, and it's a very difficult lifestyle. He said that he thought, he loves his grueling workouts. He says that I love my grueling workouts. I'm focused. He says I love to look at myself as, a very disciplined, hard worker. He said this is a completely different story when you're dealing with the discipline of the sport of boxing. And that just goes back to the old narrative that you don't play boxing. You play football, you play basketball, you play baseball, you play hockey. And those are all physical combat sports as well that, things happen. There's a lot of football players that, they get paralyzed. They have head injuries. It's a collision sport. They're all very, very risky sports. But boxing is a one-on-one sport, and it's very, very, grueling. And as he stated, he says that you don't play this sport. And he says that that's one thing. It's not that Jermell and Jermall was out to prove a point. It's simply that it's simply about the fact that they have a switch that they have to click on and off, and that's why a lot of times outside of the ring you have a lot of fighters having a lot of encounters, because it's very, very hard to flip that switch on and flip it off. You understand? You know, it's very difficult to do that without, you know, it's not calculated. You know what I mean? So you can't just say, okay, we're in fight week. Now I know a lot of fighters, they say that, you know, or it's time, like Tyson Fury, he just stated on his social media, it's time to go underground, right? Tyson Fury's a, you know, very joyful, playful guy outside the ring. That's just his personality. Deontay Wilder as well, you know, but once they enter training camp, that switch is flipped, and it's a completely different story. I personally was in Deontay Wilder's training camp, and there's no laugh and giggles at any point in time. You may see him joke around, you may see him crack a joke, you know, in interviews and things of that nature. When he's in training camp, when he's coming to the gym, when he's getting ready to, you know, get his hands wrapped, things of that nature for training, there's no giggles, there's no laughs with nobody. It's a serious matter because, again, they put their life on the line every time they step through those ropes, and it's very understandable. So he says that Charlo knocked him out in sparring to the body, stopped him. He said he completely forgot who I was. He hit me to the body, and I went down. Not surprising. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.